Okay, day 123, DynCorp Harvest. This is version 2. Several people said that Trump was having a meeting on sex trafficking today, and several people commented that it looked like Laura Silsby, Gaylor, sitting right next to him. Yeah, I have to admit it did look a lot like that, which was a little disconcerting. If he wants to get a head start on ending the rat lines and sex trafficking that DynCorp has been involved in with so many different countries around the world, Iran, Iraq, Afghanistan, Kosovo, Bosnia, Pakistan, Haiti, Colombia, El Salvador, all these different countries. The easiest thing to do would just be to go seize the servers for DynCorp, the Palantir. That will have all the resources, all the targets, all the resources. You could do the old Promise software. The Promise software would have mainly the agents, the gangs. But if you get Palantir, that'll get all your targets as well, and it'll get their movements. You'll have their geospatial locations and so forth, and you'll be able to track all the rat lines down. So that's my to Jeff Sessions and Donald Trump. Just have the FBI or some other agency that you can trust have a field office of the FBI go raid Palantir's offices of DynCorp, which I believe is near McLean, Virginia. It's about 3 miles away from CIA headquarters. So, just quickly following up on the three Muslim brothers that penetrated our House Intelligence Committees, Homeland Security, and Foreign Affairs Committees. Basically, all the secrets in the United States spread out amongst 20 different House of Representatives. There was this agent, this longtime CIA fixture, al-Attar, Dr. Ali al-Attar, that I talked about in the previous episode. I've done a lot of research. What happened was he's one of these exiles that you have. You always have this group of exiles. So when you topple a country, you bring them in, and then you make them a minister. And in this case, he was the Minister of Health. And then you run a whole bunch of contracts through him that are supposed to help the country. But what they really do is set up medical clinics and set up feeder systems for organ harvesting in this case. So I'm prepared to say in the northeast part of Iraq, 11 different health centers were set up by al-Attar for an organ harvesting and trafficking network that was in Mosul. And the organ transplants were done by Iraqi doctors in Mosul by ISIS. Here are all the Iraqi foreign minister to the UN complained about this last year in 2015, that ISIS was using organ trafficking to pay for their operations in Mosul. I believe the reason why they're shutting down the Mosul operation now is so that before Trump gets there, they won't be able to see the shelved bodies. And that is the end now, finally, of 2017 of the operations which started all the way back in 2003 when al-Attar came. Basically, he was a Sunshine Patriot. He'd come in, they'd basically rubber stamp all the contracts, then he would come back to the United States and do his practice in the United States. But I have enough information now that he set up soccer leagues in northeast Iraq to provide pediatric hearts, kidneys, and livers for Iranian doctors doing transplants for UAE, Qatar, Bahrain, and Saudi Arabia. Again, this is just a extension of what Attar was doing in Kosovo, and an extension of what DynCorp was doing in India and Pakistan and so forth. So it's just a pattern that just keeps repeating over and over. And again, the key of exposing all of this is publishing the metadata of the 650,000 emails. We'll know right away if I'm right or not. And McCabe hasn't recused himself of the Clinton Foundation case, hasn't sent the requests for information to Jason Chaffetz for any of the materials that he's requested, hasn't given back the $675,000 bribe, hasn't walled off the investigation in the Miami office, hasn't come clean on the quid pro quos, hasn't admitted to the destruction of evidence. So again, Andrew McCabe, I'm saying you need to step up and investigate this organ trafficking in Iraq, as well as Syria and Libya and Haiti. Take your choice. You can start in any one of those places, but I have solid evidence in all those places is doing illegal organ trafficking. Or Chicago, Home and Square.